In today's episode of Celebrity Documentary, we'll be going to be talking about the Eminem, the rap god. You all know who knew how he started. Some of you don't really know how he started, but then behind the scenes, there were really a lot of struggles. There were really times when these guys never had anything, but they just kept on the spirit. They believed in themselves. They never gave up. That was the power of resilience. They kept pushing and kept pushing, until eventually they broke through. So the good news is if you never give up and you just keep pushing, it's like a drop of water makes the ocean. It's on daily habit, daily consistency. So you just keep pushing. You never give up. One day you're gonna break through. You're gonna break through. Like they all did. All the celebrities you see on TV, the on-air personalities you see on TV, there were some days very broke, extremely poor. They moved from place unstable from time to time. They just kept moving eventually. So when you're not ready for something, when the opportunity comes for your rising, you're gonna mix it because you were never ready. So when we talk about those stocks, the documentaries we're making is to encourage youth out there, is to encourage everyone that has been suffering from one addiction or the other, everyone that has been backstabbed, everyone's whom felt, oh, I'm not going to make it, you've broken, and there has been lots of ups and downs in your life. These documentaries are to energize you, they are to bring you back to life. All right, what's up, people? You're all welcome. And today we'll be covering about the full story, complete story of Eminem, the rap god, like he knows, like he calls himself. Truly, he's a rap god. So no flaunt, just free journey. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so. All right, drop your comments. Quickly drop Eminem song you love so much. He's done so many songs. I personally like. I love the way he lie, and I'm not afraid. I love those two songs. Right. Before we delve deep into the documentary, I would like to just display an ionic scenario that happened 2009 when Eminem was present in the MTV Base Award. There was this comedian, Sacha Baron. Now, he's a stunt comedian, and somehow it was like he missed his steps. He did a wrong move and landed himself from the ceiling with his bare backside on the face of Eminem. So it was like, an embarrassment to Eminem. Eminem was actually angry and walked out the stage with his entourage. But later, he realized that it was actually something that was planned, you know, just to make that scene ionic. So you just look at it and drop on the comment section what you felt. If you were him at that time, what would be your reaction? It was indeed an ionic moment and most talked about in the award histories ever. So, Master Bruce, Martyr 3, born October 1972 at St. Joseph, Missouri. Yeah, now what really happened was that while he was a baby, his father abandoned him and he became a burden to his mother. All right, the mother struggled with addiction and, according to Marsha, emotionally abused, you know, and they were just moving from place to place because there were really nothing to hold on to. So it was difficult. Growing up was really difficult. Now he had to change. He changed his school 1, 2, 3. He was just changing because they were extremely poor. You know, but he kept moving as a child. And at age 9, one of the schools he went then, while he was 9 years old, there was this guy called the Angelo Ballet. This guy beat him so badly. Like he beat him to the point that he was hospitalized. And at that point, Eminem was in coma. You understand? Like he beat him to coma at his age of 9. That was how bad. And it was really not an easy thing. As a matter of fact, they diagnosed him of a brain bleeding and it's cerebral. Yeah, immediately after dropping his first single, first album rather, Infinity, that flopped, he became angry, but that anger created Slim Shade, the Slim Shady you heard. Now his comeback was so shocking, offensive, unfiltered, uttered egos, you know. And in 1997, Slim Shade EP was completely different. That was the boom. It was massive. The rap god himself, Eminem, became dark, controversial, voice was so eloquent, you know, and he actually proved all the critics wrong. So, 1997, they had Rap Olympics where he came second. Now, he did all he could, but there were some underground rappers too. Hemorrhage, yeah, is a kind of a brain bleeding that to the point the Angelo beat this guy while he was at the age of 9. Do you imagine? You know, could you imagine that? Okay, so now going further, while he was at his age 14, one of his uncle actually picked him up by name Uncle Ronnie. Now picked him and he discovered that Eminem could rap, Eminem could sing, and he took him into a hip hop. He was just broughting him up, kind of motivating him, you know, like he was the father figure at that moment. Since his father was nowhere to be found, since his father abandoned him. So that was like an escape to him. It was like therapy. But what happened as time goes on in 1991, Uncle Ronnie then committed suicide. That was another devastating loss for Marshall, for Eminem. That Eminem started, it was like starting all over again. But at this point, he now had some friends, he could associate with some people and they just kept doing their thing. So he then joined, he's from Detroit, yeah, Michigan. So he joined the first group, M&M. Then, okay, I think that was what he was answering, M&M. Then that gave rise to Eminem. You understand? He was so skinny. And in that Detroit, a lot of the rappers that dominated the place they were all black. And they were saying that there was this criticism, this white, skinny guy, what can he made of? So as at then, in the 90s, the black Americans always thought, oh, they were the only good people that can do the nigger thing. But guess what? Mashamata Bruce proved them wrong. He proved them wrong. And the guy kept moving. People were laughing at him. They even called him a book axe, but he never gave up. And he got this friend called Proof. One of his friends' name, best friend's name as at the time was Proof. So they joined together. Collectively, they formed a group called The 12. You guys could check around, you know. And as at that point, he was already in a relationship with Eminem, was in a relationship with King Scott, whom then, after they got married, became King Mata. That was the mother of his first daughter, Hali. Hali, you understand? So why was he struggling with minimal wage? I think as at the time they were just paying him $5.5 per hour. All right. Now, wind down to 1996, he dropped his first album. The album's name was Infinity. But you know what really happened? The fascinating part of that album was that it was a complete flop. This guy's first album merely sold 1,000 copies, which is said he sounded like wannabe. At this time, 1972 to 1996, he was 24 years. All right. Guess where he was living? In a trailer park, working at Tibert's Lodge for just $5.5 per hour. That was really insane. Because like nobody was there for him, nobody could come around for him. But failure made him angry. That were good, okay, at the time, but he never gave up. So while they were in Los Angeles during the rap Olympics, Jimmy Lovey, a friend of Dr. Dre, came across him and he just fell in love with him. So he got his songs, some of his songs, and took it to Dr. Dre. Then Dr. Dre was a producer, a very good producer, and as well one of the co-founders of Aftermath Entertainment in 1998. So when he got the discs from Jimmy Lovey, he played it in his car. Man, Eminem's sound and song were mind-blowing. Immediately, Diddy, being Dr. Dre, said, "That kid is a fucking beast. Get him for me now." You know, that was so amazing of a producer to just, you know, pick you out without seeing you. People criticized him, but he said no. Dr. Dre said, "I don't care his color. When you're talented, you're talented." And for real, Eminem was talented, you know. And immediately he asked Marsha to come down to LA. He flew down to LA. Dred gave him a beat and texted him. So at the time, that was when the song My Name Is. If not heard about the song, you need to go listen. Okay, but you're gonna be seeing some of the lyrics here. My name is, and he just smashed the whole thing immediately. When he impressed Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre got him signed into Aftermath Entertainment in the 1998. That was the rising of the Eminem, the same guy that was sleeping and living in a trailer park. See, your story is no different. Don't give up. All right. So, going further, now in February 1999, Slim Shady dropped My Name Is. Was everywhere. It was like an anthem. The album for the first time, you know, was went 4 times platinum. Parents hated him, like parents generally hated him because he was vocal, he was controversial. You understand? Politicians wanted him banned. Lene Cheney condemned him in Congress. Could you imagine that? It was really a big controversy, but he never gave up. Slim Shady EP was a bomb. And then he also won his first Grammy. For few of you that knew, then he won his first Grammy in 2000. You understand? With that Slim Shady being 4 times in platinum. Yeah. So Then in 2000, Mata LP, that's the MMLP, recorded 1.7 million copies. So that in the first week, that was the fastest selling rap album in history at the time. So this brought us to you believing in yourself and never giving up. Because if he had given up, then if he had followed and listened to the hearsay, the noise that the critics were making, he wouldn't have gotten to the stage. He was just keeping track records. He just keeps smashing records. You understand what I'm saying? Then he did another song called Stand, featuring Dido. Okay, a masterpiece about um, obsessed fan. The word "stand" is now in the dictionary as a result of this song. This guy is a legend. He sang, and his song's name, "Stand," that was never in the dictionary, now had a meaning to become a vocabulary, to become a word, an English word. You get that? And that was really massive, you know. So, but then along the line, during one of the cultural impacts, he had an issue with his wife, Kim Scott. When they got married in 1999, she bear his name being Kim Mata. And Eminem's anger could not withhold. He could not withhold his anger. So he performed the song at the Detroit Cultural Festival as at the time. Now he presented the case of Kim graphically and while singing, you know, in the Kim was at the concert, but she never knew that Eminem was performing what was happening behind the scene between them in the concert. This actually made Kim to attempt suicide that night, and their relationship was so toxic. You know, sometimes if you don't, if your energy doesn't match a relationship, it affects almost everything you do. It affects your daily living, and you see your efforts. You just being drained. Sometimes man's worth is not a man is not defined by his worth or fame, but a man sometimes is defined by having that one woman that no one can access, that one woman that no other man can access. This is the strength of a man. So when some men doesn't see this coming forth, they become broken and bitter inside of them. All right. So going further, Eminem's song won um, the album MMP, that's Marshall Matter, was on the diamond and sold about 10 million plus. Won him Grammy, but Glad protested. Media called him dangerous. Then in 2001, he performed Stan with Hector John. That guy is an openly gay icon, but that is life, it's a choice. So Hector John, it's a legend. And that night neutralizes all the criticisms. That one night performance with Hector John neutralized all the criticism in 2001 Grammy night performance. All right.
Personally, he was spiraling. He was bitter because his marriage never lasts. And this got him into addiction. He began taking drugs, prescription pills like Vicodin, Valin, Valium, Ambien, and a couple so to cope, just to cope with the pain, to cope with anxiety and pressures. This thing really got this young man downcasted. He was never taking drugs before. But do you know in your life, there's a point you become so devastated and you just want to try something out. You want to take pills, you want to take drugs to help yourself out. See, it is never the best option because if you're not careful, the drugs will drain you. The drugs will actually destroy the best of your future. All right, now pushing down the darkest chapter of Eminem, his best friend died in April. That's proof. So he was faced with two challenges. He lost his best friend, proof, and he was near fatal overdose. Just imagine that. But not to worry, even while he was taking drugs, he still knew what he was doing. And one of the scenes that brought him to limelight and made him a legend was when he acted 8 Mile, a movie that, you know, made up to $242 million at the time. So he won an Oscar with Lose Yourself in that movie. That movie gave him an Oscar because the movie was talking about the underground struggles as a rapper, his early time, beginning, how he began, how he struggled, you know, and what's not to worry, that actually became the first rapper. He became the first rapper to win the best original song. Lose Yourself. You need to listen to the song. Lose Yourself was really a bomb. Okay, I'm going to be dropping the lyrics too, so you check it out. It was really a wonderful song. So, being the first rapper to ever win Academy Award, it was mind blowing. Now, on the paper, he was winning. You see the problem? On the paper, he was winning, but behind the scene, he was taking up to 60 pills a day. He was damn addicted with drugs. Like, that was what I told you. See, if you come to that point in your life where you felt all hope is lost and everything is gone, don't settle for drugs. Drugs should be your last option. Don't ever settle for drugs because, man, it's going to destroy the person the more. Most of the artists you see today, the celebrities you're seeing today, they do a lot of shit behind. They take drugs, they dope themselves. Well, man, it's not really easy. The industry is not easy. But I love Eminem because as time goes on, he realized his mistake. We'll come to that. So, at the point, at then, April 11, 2006, his best friend was shot and killed outside Detroit club. His best friend, Proof, was killed. This again can be so devastating, you know. You to lose your best friend. You just had you having issues with your wife, and the only man that could console you and kept you going, your best friend, was killed. Man, that's serious. That's serious. Some persons could take for these reasons. Some persons could just commit suicide or go fall into the lagoon. You understand? It wasn't easy. That point was never easy for him. Right? Moving further, Proof wasn't just a friend to him. He was like a brother to him. Proof was one of the black Americans that believed in Eminem. You understand? And they've been together since the battle rap days when Marshall was shattered. He could not process the loss. So he took more pills. I'm telling you that as at 2007, the Eminem you knew now was taking 60 pills plus daily. He was taking 60 pills plus just to keep going. Can you imagine that? His weight balloons, his weight balloons to 230 plus pounds. He was not recording, barely functioning, just trying to numb the pains. See, to come to stadium and maintain that stadium isn't easy. That same 2007, Eminem overdosed, took overdose drugs, collapsed at home. His organs were shaking. You know why? Because he took about 4 bags of heroin. And he was just 2 hours to death before he was rushed to the hospital. Guess what? He survived it. Most people didn't really knew it was that bad. He survived it. He woke up in the hospital and the doctor said, if you keep doing this, you will die. You understand what I'm saying? If you keep doing this, you're going to die. Oh, what? And he thought about Harley. He still had a little kid he was, taking care of. He thought about Proof, everything. He survived. And he realized he was actually throwing himself away. You see, when you lost a loved one, when you lost someone that is so dear to you, it's so crazy. True love truly exists. When you lost that woman you love, when you lost that man you truly love, you can commit suicide. You can start taking overdose of drugs just because you want to keep going. This was the story behind him being so addicted. You understand? He began battling with health challenge in 2008. April 2008, he got sobered. All right. And so far, since 2008 till date, 2006, which is about 17 years plus, he has quit drugs. I want you to drop your emoji for such incredible strength. For such incredible strength, drop your emoji for the rap god. It's not actually easy. After being rehabilitated, after visiting rehab, after visiting, you know, hospital, after a near fatal death, he stopped taking drugs, and his comeback was really amazing. Drop that emoji. I want to see that Or have you been in that position before? Have you been there before? And you think it's not really easy to give up? Man, you can do it. If Eminem did it, the rap god did it, you can equally do it. Drug abuse is not a good thing. Taking drugs for any reason is not good at all. It's gonna just waste your life. You make money, you don't see it, you end up your money taking drugs. That's not life. So if you've been there before, I want you to drop an emoji to celebrate with you and thank God for your life that you have left that addiction. You understand? Now, means to him, getting sober to him means like he was trying to relearn, you know, learning how to, you know, be fast. Because what was inside his brain as a then were all just drug pills. So he left it, and it was like he was relearning how to sing, how to be fast from scratch. It was really an easy battle, but the comeback gave birth to the rap god. That was the recovering era. That was the time, he said, the return of the king. So that took us down to 2009. His story is down 2009, where relapse drops. It's okay. But Marshall wasn't satisfied. So just 1 year later, recovery. He wasn't actually satisfied with relapse. Okay, but 1 year after he recovered, he came up again bouncing. By then, his brain has reset, you know, and that was when he dropped Not Afraid. Not Afraid became an anthem. I'm not afraid to take a stand. Everybody, come take my hands. Check out the lyrics, you know. It was really amazing. I love that song with passion. That song is a song of strength. And the song lasted, became a hit, #1 hit on the Billboard. Its message so bad. You know, I am back, I survived. This was the message he was passing. I want you to use that song to encourage your current situation. If you've been there before and you felt all hope is lost, maybe you're even suffering from self-condemnation. Man, that is too big for us to make it. Everybody made it someday from scratch. You can equally do same. So take that song, listen to it, replay it again. I'm not afraid. You understand? You're going to love it. That same time, he also made another song, Love the Way You Lie. That was when he featured Rihanna. What was the song talking about? It was all about his toxic relationship. You don't know, the celebrities also have hard time. There are times they were broken and devastated. He had a toxic relationship with Kim. So, say, I love the way you lie. It's a lie. You're also going to check it out. You check the lyrics. It's also one of the songs that for 7 whole weeks, I Love the Way You Lied was on the Billboard. It became the best-selling song at the time. The best-selling song. I Love the Way You Lied. 7 whole weeks, #1 on the Billboard. Wow. This guy was really a legend. Honestly, he was. So, moving further, that was the recovery became the best-selling album globally in 2010. It wasn't just a rap. It wasn't just about the rapper thing. All the music, R&B, rap, hip. So during the recovering performance, he was not actually done proving himself. He was not done proving himself. You heard that? Get it clearly. I love that guy. Now, he did a song, Rap God, for 6 minutes, 4 seconds long, 156 words. That was like an average of 4.28 words per second. In the supersonic session, you understand? Saying like 97 words in 15 seconds and 6.46 words per second. That was really massive. As a result, he broke Guinness Book of Record. He set another track because he was the first person to have nailed 1,560 words. He was the first person to nail 1,560 words in a rap song. So he set that rap record, and he set a world record. Then in 2020, he owned his own record label with Godzilla. That's 224 words. So going further, he had a beef with Machine Gun Kelly. You see, nobody wins Eminem on beef records. Check it out. So bad move for Machine Gun. So he dropped a song, Kill Shot, and destroyed the guy's career completely. MGK literally switched genres to pop punk after that beef. That was a massive beef, for real. You understand? So he also destroyed then Jarud, Bezino, and others. Eminem is actually undefeated on the beef record. You understand? Then in 2000, before this time actually, he already discovered 50 Cent. So 50 Cent was one of his good pal. He discovered 50 Cent in 2002, you understand, and signed him into his Slim Shade, that's his Shady record. Yeah, he had his first record label was actually Shady Records. So they produced Get Rich or Die Trying. You know, paying further words what Dread did for him. So it's that you get rich or you died. You die trying. Type me on the comment section, which will you choose? Is it not better to get rich? But getting rich, you need to work hard. There is every hard work. There are hard work, like you have to work hard. You must work it hard relentlessly, no matter what circumstances are, no matter what the conditions are. You need to keep pushing. The rich work very hard. Nothing just happened by magic. Nothing just happened overnight. Behind the scene, there were a lot and series of works. So I want you to also encourage yourself. You're working hard from now. Going further, you'll be working hard, okay? So where is Eminem currently in 2026? Where is Eminem currently in 2026? He has achieved a lot of things. He has impacted life. He's a legend. He has legacy. Now, to me, I would say a good thing for him, he no longer takes drugs. He's still making music. Alright, he's still relevant. So let's talk about the numbers. Now, he has 220 million albums sold worldwide. Like his songs generally has sold up to 220 millions. You understand? He has won 15 Grammys award. It's not easy. One Oscar, that's the Academy Award. So he's a legend indeed. Multiple Guinness World Records. He was the best selling artist of 2000 and one of the best artists of all time. You cannot talk about rappers today without mentioning Eminem. See, they were the people that overcame the challenges, the hardship, the underground rap battles. And he never gave up on himself. So you cannot talk about rap legends. There are other legends. Yeah, during his time, Busta Rhymes was there, Technical 9 is there, Twister was there. So many of them too, you understand. Even Jay-Z was also part of, yeah, his time. And, you know, even in this present time, Drake and Kendrick, they are good, but I would say I still love Eminem because these younger ones has come to see. He created the path for them to follow. He created a path. He's a pace setter. That's who Eminem is. He's a pace setter. You understand? So for real, you know, he is one of the greatest ever. It's not about being so fast in rapping. His words are clear. There's clarity in his words. So you hear when he sings, you hear it. So he changed the conversation about what a rapper could, look like. And he proved hip hop is about talent, not race. He normalized discussion about health, addiction, vulnerability in rap. So you don't have to be drug addicted before you can become a good rapper. That was the scenario he changed. You understand? And he has also achieved, he's a father figure. His daughter presently is about 30 years plus now. That's a Halia, she has also made a name for herself. She's a social influencer. She's married presently and she's successful. You understand? Now, he didn't actually raise Harley alone. He raised Harley with other siblings, including Kim's daughter, Whitney. And he also adopted Kim's niece. So that guy has a golden heart. Regardless of the fact that him and Kim's aren't together again, they aren't together. He still adopted the daughter of Kim's, and Kim's niece. He trained them, and he has been a good father ever since. He has also, he has also supported so many foundations. He owns his own foundation in Detroit, where he helped those in difficulties, those having disadvantages, some youth. He donates millions quietly. No PRO stunts, just real generosity. He doesn't need to make it publicly, but he has been impacting lives ever since. He has been impacting lives. You understand? And I can say it again, that this guy is one of the greatest of all time. That's why I love him. He has brought up so many persons. So we still call him the rap god. You understand what I'm saying? So he has moved on from trauma to triumph, from addiction to 17 years plus of being sober, away from taking drugs, from hate and critics to becoming a legend. You understand? So what are we saying? Your struggling is not your ceiling, it's just your foundation. You can build up from there. Do you understand? You just heard what I said. That you're struggling today is not your ceiling, it's just a foundation, and you can build from there. You understand what I'm saying? So, whatever your childhood is, his childhood was traumatic, but today he has moved and he is a legend. Alright, Dr. Dre discovered him, and Shady was kind of explosion. Yeah, and so many things that happens to him back then. Now the big question: what's your biggest take? I want you to drop it on the comment section. We've gone through power, resilience, the ability of not giving up. What's your own take home from here? You understand? My take home is that you shouldn't give up. Yes, turn pain into power. That's exactly what it is. Nobody hears your cry, but from your cry, when you make it, people will rejoice with you and they will be glad you did. You understand? And your generations unborn will also be glad that you did make them proud. So don't make your problems your ceiling, or see them as your foundation, see them as your stepping stones, and keep pushing. You get what I'm saying? So I want to thank you all for listening. I want to thank you, and I believe that this documentary of Eminem was helpful and impactful to you as an individual. So I would want you to drop on the comment section whom's next. Which other celebrity should we talk about? Just drop it on the comment section. We got you covered, right? We're going to give you the best shots. And subscribe to On Point Select TV. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Share this documentary to encourage people that is going through addiction and traumatic time. You understand? It can be in phases, but they just want to hear this kind of stuff to keep them encouraged. And I bet you'll be helping life by doing so. Checks, man. One love and peace. Eagle wins. Love you all. Bye.